Hi everybody, Jillian here for Illustrated Faith's Print and Pray Shop, and today I've got a new Bible journaling process video for you using some beautiful new pieces from the Print and Pray Shop, along with some bits and pieces that I may use from the Word Nerd Bible journaling kit. So here I've got pieces from Vanessa Walker's study hall flashcard set, so just some great journaling spots that you can see I've already started using. I love these fun shapes. And then I also have bits and pieces from Shauna Klingerman's Coffee and Contemplation set, and some of those patterned papers, and I'm going to use this ampersand in a new to me way, so I'm looking forward to that. And then I have the Word Nerd kit here. I have my traveler's notebook that I've been using as I study through the book of Hebrews. I'll give you a quick flip through of that. And then my interleaved journaling Bible. So for my last video, I shared how I made this page in Hebrews 2, and then I'm just going to turn the page and head on over to Hebrews 4, 15, and 16, which is where I'll be journaling today. So I was asked recently what I come up with first when I'm Bible journaling, and it is almost always determining what I want to journal versus having a creative idea and wanting to execute that. So I do my study in my Bible, or in this case in my scripture journal, and then I'll either move that into my traveler's notebook here or into the pages of my journaling Bible. So let me zoom in here so you can see my notebook really quick, and then I'll go ahead and start in my Bible. This is a standard size traveler's notebook insert. I like to create one of these whenever I'm going through a book in depth. It's just fun, and it helps me to remember what I've studied. And so you can see here I've already used bits and pieces from Vanessa's set and from Shauna Klingerman's patterned paper. Or maybe this is Brave Little Tailor's patterned paper. Anyway, I'll be sure to link all of the print and pray items that I've used down in the video description below. I started off using some of Brave Little Tailor's A Heart to Study digital printables like these templates. And then when the Word Nerd templates were released, I changed to those. So just some background for the book, and then here are my notes. And then I just add stickers and stamping and little journaling spots. I love those for getting a lot of writing down in a small space. And that's it. Pretty simple. Same thing here. I use a little more patterned paper, stickers, stamping, and journaling. The challenge is being able to fit it all in. Here I used an older set from Brave Little Tailor. I think this was called Walk on Waves, because there was some nautical language used in these passages, and so I wanted to use pieces that represented that. Here's some more of that patterned paper from Shauna Klingerman and Coffee and Contemplation. I love how we're getting into fall now. And then just bits from my stash, like these tile stickers. Here's some more journaling and stamping, and another one of those boxes to record all my notes in here. This ends at chapter 4, verse 13, and in my Bible I'm going to look at chapter 4, verses 15 and 16 like I mentioned. So let's go ahead and get started. So first I'm going to cut out the pieces that I know I want to use and then grab my tools, like my stamp block, my Stays on jet black ink, and a clip to hold back all of these pages from my Bible, which is just bursting at the seams. So you may have seen that I have a white project tray that I like to use to corral all of the supplies that I am using as I work through the book of Hebrews and the Word Nerd Bible journaling kit. And so I like having a tray where I know everything that I could pull from that tray is going to coordinate with the Word Nerd kit or these printables. It just saves me so much time from looking around. I can just get straight to creating, so that's always fun. So to start, I want to use this ampersand as a mask with some media gloss spray. So I have just this ampersand fussy cut out from some cardstock. I think it's 110-pound cardstock. And I very lightly taped that to my Bible page, put a Bible mat underneath there to protect the pages underneath, and then sprayed on top. You can see here I got a pretty crisp image. If I hadn't taped it, it probably wouldn't have been so crisp, so I'm super pleased with how that turned out. Now that my background is mostly done, I'll go ahead and start cutting out the pieces that I'm going to use to build on top. So patterned paper, lots of labels and layers and bits like that. So like I mentioned, I'm journaling in Hebrews chapter 4, verses 15 and 16. This passage comes on the heels of a pretty sobering section of Hebrews chapter 4, verse 13 says, "And no creature is hidden from his sight, but all are naked and exposed to the eyes of him to whom we must give an account." And then comes verse 14, 15, and 16. "Since then we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God. Let us hold fast to our confession, for we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us then with confidence draw near to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need." Now, from just a surface level reading of this passage, it's pretty comforting as is. Jesus is able to sympathize with us in our weakness and can help us in our time of need. But that's what is so great about Bible study. When we look below the surface and we go a little deeper, we see Christ's heart for his people, and we find incredible encouragement for our daily lives with him. My title for today's passage is a little bit longer, but that's because it's taken from an excerpt from some of my Bible study notes, and then also this wonderful book that I'm reading called Gentle and Lowly by Dane Ortland. And as I was reading it, it just aligned so perfectly with what I was studying in the book of Hebrews. Don't you just love when that happens? I love it. It's so great. So in this book, Gentle and Lowly, when the author is describing what this word sympathize means, he says, "In our pain, Jesus is pained. In our suffering, he feels the suffering as his own, even though it isn't. Not that his invincible divinity is threatened, but in the sense that his heart is feelingly drawn into our distress. His human nature engages our troubles comprehensively. His is a love that cannot be held back when he sees his people in pain." Speaking of verse 16, he says, "Our sinless high priest is not one who needs rescue, but who provides it. This is why we can go to him to receive mercy and find grace. He himself is not trapped in the hole of sin with us. He alone can pull us out." Not only can he alone pull us out of the hole of sin, he alone desires to climb in and bear our burdens. Jesus is able to sympathize. He co-suffers with us. So the heart of Jesus in our weakness and in our suffering, when he sympathizes with us, it is his witness in our weakness. So off camera, I added a little circle there onto the left next to the verse to draw your eye to the text, and added a few more hearts. I sprayed some more Distress Oxide spray actually in that color Peacock Feathers down at the bottom, and now I want to cover a bit of it up because I don't need to see so much of it. It's just kind of like another anchor point for some more journaling spots. Now, I have a lot happening on the bottom half of the page here, and I want to draw my attention up towards the top. I'm going to start by adding one of these index tabs that came with the Word Nerd kit, and I just ran the label sheet through my typewriter and typed up the word sympathizes, and I'm going to slip that into the little slot here, and then remove the sticker release paper so that it's adhered to my page. This is not going anywhere. And then at the very end, I'll add some more washi and another heart sticker up towards the top there. But I felt like I wanted a little bit more journaling. I've learned so much about the incarnation just studying through Hebrews. And I was struck by this quote that was included in our Bible study. And about this passage, the teacher commented, "We are seen and heard. Christ fixed his eyes on us in the incarnation." I thought that was so cool, especially because for the last page that I shared, it was all about fixing my eyes on Christ, through the troubles of life. And so I just thought that was like a pretty cool, turn here from 2 chapters ago. So anyway, for one last final thing, I thought it would be kind of like a pretty tone-on-tone effect to drop some of the media gloss spray that I was initially having trouble with onto the Peacock Distress Oxide spray, but they're really the same color, so I don't really know that I got the effect I was going for. But here we are. I've got some final looks at my page here. I have all of the print and pray items that I used down in the video description below if you guys want to check those out. They coordinate wonderfully with the Word Nerd Bible journaling kit, and I really think you'll like them. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.